Prepare to be transported on an exhilarating journey through the annals of space exploration as we unveil the epic tales of the 5 biggest missions in the history of mankind. From daring moon landings to interplanetary odysseys, these extraordinary quests have pushed the limits of human achievement and forever altered our understanding of the cosmos. When it comes to the exploration of the final frontier, many people think of the moon landing as by far the greatest achievement ever made. But there have been many truly incredible feats of engineering in space exploration history, including those that have taken us to the furthest reaches of the solar system and beyond. Unfortunately, they have all failed to garner the same level of cultural impact on the general public as the moon landings. Nonetheless, when you consider just what has been achieved by the following missions, you can start to grasp the far greater extent of what we know about space than what we did just a few decades ago. Here are the 5 of the greatest missions ever. 1. Pioneer space probes, 1972. Pioneer 10 and 11 were part of the long and highly successful Pioneer program, which lasted from 1958 to 1978. They were the first ever space exploration missions to the outer solar system. Pioneer 10 was launched in March 1972, and its near-identical sister space probe, Pioneer 11, was launched in April 1973. Little was known about the outer planets until Pioneer 10, and 11 took the first ever close-up images of Jupiter, and, in the case of Pioneer 11, Saturn as well. These 2 probes ended up having some of the longest missions ever by the time NASA finally lost contact with them in January 2003 and September 1995, respectively. The Pioneer probes leave behind an impressive legacy, having kick-started the exploration of the outer planets. Pioneer 10 reached Jupiter after a year and a half of traveling, taking the first ever close-up photos of the planet. It also took photos of Jupiter's 4 Galilean moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Pioneer 11 enjoyed an even greater degree of success, taking detailed images of some of Jupiter's most significant features, such as the 200-year-old Great Red Spot Cyclone. Using a gravity assist from Jupiter to boost its speed, Pioneer 11 ventured onward to Saturn, taking the first ever photos of the ringed planet in 1979. Today, the 2 probes now continue towards interstellar space at tens of thousands of miles per hour. 2. Voyager space probes, 1977. The Voyager space probes are the longest-running space exploration missions so far. Voyager 1 was launched in September 1977, and its sister spacecraft, Voyager 2, was launched a month earlier. The Voyager program was one of the most successful ever and continues to this day to send data over countless millions of miles back to Earth. The Voyager probes were launched to take advantage of what, at the time, was a favorable alignment between the planets, greatly decreasing the length of the journey. They were sent to learn more about the outer planets, including Neptune and Uranus, which had remained largely shrouded in mystery up until then. Voyager 1 arrived at Jupiter in 1979, taking detailed photos of the planet and the 4 Galilean moons before heading to Saturn with the help of a gravity assist from the gas giant. It arrived at Saturn a year later, taking photos of the planet and the first ever photos of many of its larger moons, including Mimas, Tethys, and Titan. It was Voyager 1 that finally confirmed the uniqueness of Titan, the only moon in the solar system with anything more than a trace atmosphere. Voyager 2 also explored Jupiter and Saturn before becoming the first and, so far, the only space probe to explore Uranus and Neptune up close. It took close-up photos of both planets and many of their moons, some of which were discovered for the first time by the probe. 3. Hubble Space Telescope, 1990. Much closer to home is the Hubble Space Telescope in low Earth orbit. Without light pollution and atmospheric interference, Hubble looks into the most distant depths of the observable universe and tells us about the history of everything that ever existed. It explores galaxies so far away that light from them has taken billions of years to reach us, effectively allowing us to look back in time to when the universe was young. Hubble was taken by Space Shuttle into orbit in April 1990 and remains in service. Hubble is unique in that it is serviceable by astronauts, allowing it to be upgraded and repaired with relative ease. It is due to remain in orbit for up to another 8 years. The last servicing mission took place in 2009 when Hubble received some powerful new upgrades, including a new wide-field camera and spectrograph. 4. Cassinag Huygens Space Probe, 1997. Since the confirmed discovery of Titan's unique status as the only moon with an atmosphere by Voyager 1 in 1980, astronomers have been profoundly excited to learn more about this alien world. Cassini-Huygens was launched in 1997 and inserted into Saturn's orbit in 2004. It was also the only space probe to launch a landing module onto the surface of one of the outer astronomical bodies. Cassini-Huygens passed by Jupiter in December 2000, taking many photos and scientific readings before heading on to its ultimate destination, Saturn. The probe discovered several new minor moons orbiting the planet. The main purpose of the mission was to learn more about the atmosphere and surface features of Titan, one of the largest moons in the solar system and some 50% wider than our moon. What made Cassini-Huygens special was the Huygens landing module provided by the European Space Agency. Using atmospheric braking, the Huygens probe made a successful and gentle touchdown on the freezing surface of Titan, taking the first ever surface photos of an astronomical body beyond Mars. It continued to send back scientific data and photos for some 90 minutes, using its mothership to relay data to Earth. 5. Mars Science Laboratory, 2011. One of NASA's greatest achievements to date is undoubtedly that of the Mars Science Laboratory, most famous for its Mars rover, Curiosity. It is thanks to remotely controlled rovers such as this that we now know more about the surface of Mars than the bottom of the Earth's oceans. We have photos of Mars that look as though someone was walking there in person, taking pictures with a high-definition camera. The Mars Science Laboratory is to investigate Mars in search of the building blocks of life and learn more about its geology and geochemistry. The car-sized Curiosity rover landed on the barren Martian surface on August 6, 2012. The landing was a moment of unspeakable tension in the NASA Control Center back on Earth. After a journey of 350 million miles, Curiosity was released by the Mars Science Laboratory and entered the Martian atmosphere at 12,400 miles per hour. The rover had 7 minutes to decelerate and touch down gently on the Martian surface. NASA Control then had to wait for another 13 minutes for the first signals to cross the millions of miles back to Earth. And those first signals showed that Curiosity, after its truly epic journey, had reached its destination safely. As we reach the electrifying conclusion of the 5 biggest missions in the history of space, we stand in awe of the audacity, brilliance, and sheer determination that has propelled humanity to new frontiers. These monumental missions have forever etched their mark in the annals of space exploration, pushing the boundaries of human achievement and expanding our cosmic horizons. From the historic Apollo 11 moon landing to the revolutionary Hubble Space Telescope, each mission has brought us closer to unraveling the mysteries of the universe and redefining our place within it. If you found our video informative, kindly subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on our videos.